want people to stop dying on both sides. War sucks. Reported that Ukraine has accepted most of the deal with just a few changes.
I think we're getting very close to a deal. We'll find out.
Ready to meet with President Trump, and there are sensitive points to discuss.
Until Ukraine agrees to take troops out of Zaporozhye, Kherson, and Donetsk, no peace is going to come because Russian law and constitution can't let it happen. I'm Patrick Lancaster, and the Ukraine war is over. At least that's what the mainstream media wants you to think. That's what they're implying.
I think we're getting very close to a deal. We'll find out.
Ready to meet with President Trump, and there are sensitive points to discuss.
Saying that Ukraine has agreed to the terms of Trump's new peace deal, or what was fiddled down from his 28-point peace deal that we've already gone over, now to a 22-point peace deal. But the fact is, the war's not over, and unfortunately it doesn't look like it's going to be soon, because this peace deal is just something that neither side is going to agree on. We're going to be talking about what's in it, why it's not going to be implemented, why it can't be implemented, and we're going to talk about what maybe can happen in the future to bring peace. Here we go. The fact is, any peace deal that has a chance of being agreed to by at least Russia, let's get into Ukraine later, needs to have in it the stipulations that Ukrainian forces will leave Zaporozhye, Kherson, and Donetsk. They've already been kicked out of Lugansk and, of course, Crimea. But this is the only way that Russian constitution will let there be peace, because the Russian constitution and law considers these territories part of Russia. Regardless what side you favor, these are the facts of what Russian law considers part of Russia. I've said it many times. Do you think it's realistic that Russia is going to change their constitution to implement peace in Ukraine, or is Russia going to power through and take control of everything that is by Russian law considered part of Russia? What do you think is going to happen? Comment below. And again, Zelensky is trying to dictate the terms, saying he's ready to meet Trump, but only if European leaders are there. Is he really in a position to dictate how and when he's going to meet with Trump about this peace deal?
I expect to speak with President Trump in the coming days. We're aware that America's strength and support can bring peace closer in reality, and we do not want to lose that. But we also understand that Russia has no real desire for peace. Otherwise, they would not have started this war.
And not to mention, the U.S. Army Secretary has stated to Ukraine they are losing, and the United States cannot continue to supply these weapons, and Russia can continue their strikes indefinitely. And it's being reported that Ukraine has accepted most of the deal with just a few changes. One being territorial concessions, the other joining NATO, and the other limitations on the army of Ukraine. Those are the three basic red lines for Russia. So by saying those 3 points haven't been agreed to by Ukraine, Ukraine hasn't agreed to the deal. It's not going to happen, even on the Ukrainian side. Wake up. And on top of Zelensky saying he wants to control and dictate the meeting with Trump, Trump is saying he's not going to meet with him until there's a deal already agreed to. And again, his plan has shrunk from 28 to 22. And he's basically told reporters that the 28 was just a map, a road map. And he's saying, as far as the territorial concessions go, they're going to lose the territory anyway in the coming months, so why not save the life of 50 to 60,000 people by agreeing to it now? And again, the Western mainstream media has again echoed that Ukraine has signed and agreed to the peace deal. And as we've talked about, that's not the case, but Russia says they haven't even received an official copy of the peace deal. And not only has Russia not received any official documents on this deal, they say there's been no official serious talks about this deal, and they have seen that there's several deals and plans on the table reportedly, which is getting very confusing. What does the Kremlin have to say about this? Well, the press secretary Peskov says, do not rush to conclusions that the war will end soon. I think that pretty much says it all. And this basically signals that Russia is saying United States and Ukraine are kind of talking among themselves, and you can't end the war without the side that holds the territory. Regardless if I'm here in the studio or on the front line, my work's only supported by you, my viewers, and occasionally a sponsor. But I'm not going to bring you any sponsors like VPNs and video games like other YouTubers. And of course, I'm not just going to give you a one-off. I get in-depth. And now we're going to be talking about our sponsor this week, Americanore Resources, and how they can help you and your family potentially do your own research. Click right now on the link in the description in the pinned comments and see what they have to say. Now let's get into Americanore Resources. Normally on the front line, I show you the hard realities of war, destruction, survival or attempted survival, and just what people really go through. And whether you're in a position like that where every day is life or death, or you're just trying to take care of your family on a daily basis and make room for a better future, there's things that can help with that. And many things can do that, but right now, silver is something that really has become more than just a historic store of value. It's hitting all-time highs, and the global demand is surging. Whether you're just getting little silver coins or something else, just to hold a little bit of store of value for your children. Maybe like I have, when my children all were born, I got them little silver coins. But now silver is not only just a store of value. You can get even more in depth into a actual resource company like Americanore that is publicly traded. And you can see the tickers on the screen now. I'm not a financial advisor, but I bring you things that you're not going to see anywhere else, or at least a perspective that you're not going to see anywhere else, whether it's on the front line, in the studio, or talking about opportunities that might help you and your family, or not, but at least bringing you some information that you can do your own research. And some of the best opportunities for silver, as far as the exploration of silver, are in Nevada, which is also known as the Silver State. Long before Nevada was known for Vegas or Reno, gambling and all that, it was known for their exploration of silver. Americanore Resources, trading under AMCOF in the US and AMCO in Canada, is positioning itself at the center of Nevada's modern silver resurgence. This company is focused on high potential silver exploration in a jurisdiction that has produced more wealth creating mineral discoveries than anywhere else in the American West. And if we look at the numbers, something that makes this a little bit more possibly compelling than just buying hard silver is the stock price. Right now, it's selling at 25 cents, which is a huge discount, you could say, compared to the bigger silver exploration companies like Discovery Silver or Dolly Varden Silver. And they've recently acquired the Trinity Silver Project in Nevada from the Newmont Corporation. Now, as part of the deal, the Newmont Corporation is becoming a shareholder in Americanore. And when $100 billion company takes notice, that means things are headed in an upward direction most of the time. And this project isn't a brand new play with uncertain potential. It's already produced over 5 million ounces of silver, with an estimated 28 million ounces of silver still in the ground. And again, Americanore Resources trading under AMCOF in the United States and AMCO in Canada. You can do your own research. I'm not giving you financial advice, but have a look. Click on the link in the pinned comments or to the description and see what information they have. Look up the tickers yourself and see if it's something that could benefit you and your family, but check it out. I mean, they were good enough to sponsor this video, so I think they're worth a look. Go down to the pinned comments and click on the link. So now let's get into Macron's fantasy European troop plan in Ukraine. And he's been talking about security support forces in Ukraine, British, French, Turkish troops in Kiev or Odessa, European air assets, and the rebuilding of Ukraine. But Trump's deal bans foreign troops in Ukraine, and of course Russia won't let it fly. So let's not just talk about how Russian law won't let this peace deal happen. Let's talk about how Ukraine won't let this peace deal happen, or any most likely soon-to-be suggested peace deals. 1. Ukraine has stated no recognition of Russian-controlled territories as part of Russia. And 2, no constitutional changes, which would need to happen to recognize Russian control of these territories. And this directly goes against Trump's map, peace deal, and contradicts Russian law. So even on the Ukrainian side, it ain't gonna happen. So what do we have here? US says Ukraine agreed. Ukraine says they didn't. Russia says they haven't even received a deal. Zelensky thinks he can dictate how the meeting with Trump is going to go. Trump demands a deal before he even will meet with Zelensky. And Europe proposes troops, which Russia will not allow, and Trump's peace deal does not allow. So back to the start. Is the Ukraine war over? No. Is there a deal? Yes, but it hasn't been implemented and will not be implemented. It's only on paper. And again, fact is, until Ukraine agrees to take troops out of Zaporozhye, Kherson, and Donetsk and basically sign over the 5 regions, no peace is going to come because Russian law and constitution can't let it happen. It's not going to happen. We hope this war ends soon. We want people to stop dying on both sides. War sucks. But we're just going to keep showing you what we can to educate the world. Please like, share, subscribe. Remember, we got a lot of information coming both here in the studio and on the front line. I'm headed there soon. And we've got more about Americanore Resources coming now. Stick with it and click on that link in the description and the pinned comments to see what Americanore Resources has to say. So again, why Nevada? Well, because investors know the rule. If you want to find new silver, go where silver has already made history. So I've told you before, Nevada's geology, infrastructure, and track record make it one of the safest, most productive, and most mining-friendly jurisdictions in the world. And that's why some of the biggest names in the sector go to Nevada. And unlike these bigger companies, Americanore Resources gives investors a rare early stage opportunity to get into Nevada's potential during this time when silver is surging and investor interest is skyrocketing. Nevada built its identity on silver, and Americanore Resources is stepping in for the next chapter. If you're looking for a high-impact silver exploration opportunity, then go down and check out Americanore Resources, trading at AMCOF in the US, and again, AMCO in Canada. I'm not an expert in mining, but Americanore was good enough to sponsor this video, did some research, and I found it interesting, and it might be something that benefits you and your family. Of course, I didn't just take it on a whim. I go in depth with all of my sponsors. I check them out myself before I bring them to you. And after I bring them to you, as always, I go even farther in depth. That's why I don't just give you a one-off, sponsored video that many YouTubers do. You see, they just talk bullshit about something and then just move on. No. I get in depth. I do interviews with CEOs of these companies. I just don't talk bullshit. So soon we're going to be getting an interview with hopefully the CEO of Americanore Resources, or at least someone close to the top, to get in depth with it, not to necessarily affect our coverage on the war and on the world news, but to get in depth for something that might help your family, because I want to do that. I want to help you not only understand the news and what's happening in the Russia-Ukraine war, but to help your family overall. Maybe this will help. Maybe you'll decide after doing your own research that it won't. But right now, go down to the link in the description or in the pinned comments, click on it, take a read. If you're interested or not, why not? And again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not telling you to invest, but do your own research. Go down and click on the link and let me know in the comments what you think. Am I off the ball here? Or is this something interesting? I mean, again, I'm not a stock professional, but you know, I'm bringing you, doing what I can. All right, again, please like, share, subscribe. Remember, I'm a crowd-funded independent journalist. Of course, I also do these sponsors on occasion when I, again, feel like it could help your family. You can support my work with the other link in the description. Make sure you go subscribe to my Substack. That link is in the description. So much more deep dives and other things than just my videos go in Substack. So let's show the world together what's happening. Please like, share, subscribe. I'm out.